Hi, I'm your host, Erica Polsinelli, and welcome to Evolve by Erica, the podcast, where we talk all things spirituality, ascension, health, wellness, and beyond. I'm so excited that you are here. Come on in. Hello, guys, and welcome back for another episode. And I'm so excited to chat today on something I've been sharing a lot about on Instagram, something that's been coming up so much for me and a lot of you as well, from what I've heard through Instagram. But the idea of consistency and discipline. And I feel like in the intuitive age that we have come into, I feel like we've pulled away a lot from the word discipline. And I want to share why I think discipline is still very much relevant and very important on our path, and the finding of the balance between listening to our bodies but holding ourselves accountable. And in this way, I would call it intuitive discipline. So, as you may have seen me share, my morning practice is what has helped me truly heal from within. And when I started this journey, a lot of you know, but for those of you who may be new, I started with a consistent practice of 3 minutes every morning. That was it, maybe 3 to 5 minutes every single morning. And the benefits I started to feel from having this time just for me to breathe consciously into my body, into every cell and tissue, calm my nervous system, it was mind blowing. And the rewards that I started to feel each and every day is what kept me coming back and which helped me to be consistent. So when you do something and you notice those immediate benefits and that instant gratification, you're going to be most likely more apt to get into that and to lean towards that because you've experienced the benefits that you're receiving from it. And in the beginning of my journey, it was quick, it was powerful, and it was really potent because that's what the practice is. And it helped me. I knew that if I was so tired of feeling anxious, living in fight or flight, like so much so that if I heard a noise, I would jump in panic. The blood would leave my face. I would be ghost white. And that was the state I was constantly living in. And it's interesting talking to you and telling you this because it might be hard for some of you to believe because I feel like such a different person since I started this journey of sharing and teaching. It's almost wild to think about. But I knew that if I wanted to heal and if I wanted to do it on my own on this path, I needed to be consistent. And each and every day, feeling the benefits and seeing that reflective in my day kept me coming back for more. And then what also kept me coming back for more were the days maybe I fell off and I felt such a significant difference than on the days that I actually started with my practice. Those were also reminders of okay, Erica, you feel significantly different than how you did prior the day before when you started with your practice. So therefore, we're getting back on it tomorrow because this is not how we want to feel. And we know what we can do to help us feel and be the way we want to. So, with that all being said, as you continue on your journey, there's peaks and there's valleys. And in the beginning of a spiritual journey, I think you're in the honeymoon stage and you're feeling like all the amazing things you get from awakening and decalcifying the pineal gland and opening your third eye, aligning your chakras, actually breathing into spaces you haven't brought oxygen into, and turning on channels that have been dormant or turned off, DNA that's been dormant. You're feeling all these things at first. And as you go on your journey, you can come to a space of a rut. You could come to a space of, why do I even need that practice anyway? And over the past few months, prior this Virgo full moon that we had back in March, I think it was March, or late February, I forgot the exact date, but that moon was such a pivotal point for me. So it's like pre Virgo full moon and post Virgo full moon. But I was getting into a space where I was becoming a little lazy at my morning practice, and I was waking up a lot later after the sunrise. And I was taking time to listen to what my body was telling me in those moments and honor it and not judge it as right, wrong, good, or bad. Because as a teacher of this practice, I started to fall into the narrative of, Eric, if you're teaching this, you need to live by your example. You have to practice what you preach. You have to be up before sunrise. You have to be doing 45 minutes of Kundalini every morning. And I started to turn that noise off and just say, I need to allow myself to intuitively give myself what I need right here and right now. And I'm still staying true to myself because this practice has helped me out of the hardest and darkest times of my life. I still absolutely believe in it. I'm still practicing it, just not to the depths that I was. And I was also comparing myself to my past self, comparing myself to when I was in training and how much Kundalini I was doing at that point in my life versus now. And it just life felt dull for a little bit. Life felt stagnant. It felt heavy. I felt very heavy and dense in my body. And then the Virgo full moon came, and there's a really big shift that happened after that. And now we have Pluto moving into Aquarius, and it's another big shift. We had Saturn moving into Pisces. And these are all really big shifts and transits that are helping us I see it as getting into the depths of the Aquarian age. Pisces, elevating our intuitive abilities, our psychic abilities, and our spirituality. And Pluto moving into Aquarius, allowing us to come into this space where the illusions are removed and we're able to see things as they were and as they are now, with greater clarity and truth and understanding of our autonomy and our freedom and all these things. There's just, I believe, another wave of awakening happening right now. I feel like there's a really big one in 2020 and there's a really big one happening right now, and it's a process. So why I'm sharing all that is because I really believe that I went through that time of darkness, the end of winter, before transitioning into spring for a reason. And I needed to listen to that and honor that. And now, after whatever that energy is that cleared, I feel ready and available to go deeper than I ever have before. And I hope that no matter, you can take this and relate this to any area of your life, whether it's your exercise routine, whether it's how you are showing up at work, or whether it is as a parent, whatever it is. There are seasons, and through the seasons we learn, we grow, we expand. And sometimes when it doesn't look like we're doing all the things that help us to grow, we're still growing. And in this new season now, in this new chapter, I've committed, I'm ready, I have this space to commit to a much longer, deeper, harder, more challenging practice. And I am on day 4. It feels like a century because so much has shifted. But I want to share a little bit getting back to discipline and consistency, because there's a time and a place to honor us, quote unquote, falling off, which is not how we have to frame it or see it, but sometimes how we tend to judge ourselves. There's a time and a place for that. And then there's chapters and a time to hold ourselves accountable, to call us out, to have consistency and have that discipline, or that quote unquote intuitive discipline. So I saw one of my teachers, Guru Joss, and we had a meeting, and it was a really intense meeting actually. She wanted to tell me it is time that I step up. And with that meant through my practice and a lot of other ways, but specifically through my practice. So right now, what I'm committing to is a 5 a.m. wake up. And on the days that I'm snoozing, I'm immediately seeing the impact that that has on me, not staying dedicated to what I promised myself, which was the 5 a.m. wake up, a very intense movement warm up, and then a very intense, one of the most powerful meditations. And this meditation is a 31-minute meditation. So the same thing for 31 minutes. And I have to tell you, I was really scared to commit to this. The first time she told me to practice this, I declined. And I said, I respect you and I respect your professional opinion, but I do not want to do that meditation. And this is maybe a year and a half later that she brought it back up to me and said, it is time now and you should be practicing this, and it's going to help you expand and bring all of these pieces together and ground you. So within 2 days of practicing this, like, I'm laughing of excitement, because on day 2, I finally got the download of who will be coming in as that Evolve team member that I've been looking and searching for probably, I don't know, I feel like it's been like 6 months of searching and interviewing. I got a very clear divine download. I'm going to have a whole episode just on that because of how serendipitous it is. But just to give you a little insight here, that happened on day 2. A cycle completed on day 2. And I started this and committed to this on the equinox, which is also a really powerful day to commit to something. So huge shifts took place after the second day. And I see it as committing to yourself and committing to what you know you probably should be doing, but you don't want to because it's hard and uncomfortable. And that's exactly how I feel about the meditation, being hard and uncomfortable. You are creating space to expand. And these practices are, if you know, you know, that's all I have to say, but they're not your average meditation practices. I'm not putting down any other type of meditation. I think whatever meditation you practice or you're guided to that's meant for you at the state and space of consciousness that you're in, these meditations are extremely transformative. They work extremely quickly. And by creating that time to commit to yourself and doing what you know your dharma is ready for, you just don't know if this 3D version of yourself is ready for, it is scary, but it's so expansive. And a lot of the time, for whatever reason, it is so easy to give in to the things that do not serve us and the things that keep us comfortable and where we are in this moment. And it's a lot harder to cut out the sugar, to cut out the alcohol, to wake up at 5 a.m., to do the meditations, whatever it is that you're trying to commit to that you know deep down is best for your health or your spirituality or whatever it is. It's so much harder to choose what is good for us rather than what keeps us the same or possibly even detrimental to us. And why is that? Well, I believe that with change and expansion, some discomfort is inevitable. And the journey can be easy, you can flow, you can have ease, but you have to be committed to something. And the commitment and the consistency is what can really be a challenge. And when we finally commit and when we're finally able to hold ourselves accountable, have the discipline to wake up every morning and do whatever we know can truly serve us, that is where we create that new version of ourselves. Because if we stay doing all the things that we've always done, we're going to pretty much be the person we've always been. And if we want to see a change, if we want to see a transformation, if we want to evolve, there's things that we need to take away and subtract, and there's things that we need to add in. And staying consistent is key. And we see that over exercise, over eating, over meditating, whatever it may be, working. Consistency is key. And in order to be consistent, we have to have the discipline. When the alarm goes off at 5 a.m., it's so easy. It is so freaking easy to press snooze because I've done it a few times in these 4 days, and it's only been 4 days and I've pressed the snooze button. It's so easy to do it. It's so much harder to just get yourself out of bed. But I promise what I've come to see is that the hardest part is literally that second of choosing, that second of saying snooze or up and out. What is it going to be? Because soon as you decide to get up and get out of your bed and onto your meditation cushion and tune in with the Adi mantra, the energy is moving through you already. You've already connected to source. You've already connected to that higher realm and that higher spirit within yourself. And you're then being supported. You're taking your body through the experience, but you have other divine supports during that time. And it's just about commitment. So I hope that this conversation encourages you to find ways to stay consistent, find ways to be disciplined, because that is, I believe, the foundation of change, of creating shifts in our life. And if there's anything that you have if there's any way that you've been playing small and you know it, I knew. Because when I was teaching, which is not so long ago, 2 years ago, when I was an elementary school teacher, I had no other choice but to get up really early to get my meditation in before I went to work. And now that I have a little bit more of a flexible schedule, I could take my time on when I want to go to bed. I can choose when I want to go to bed. Whereas with teaching, I was very much more structured because I knew I needed to wake up early for my meditation. I can pretty much choose what time I want to wake up. And what I've realized is I know exactly what helps me to feel my best. And I know what is helping me just get by. And you know too. So right now, as I'm sharing this, maybe you're thinking about your life and you're just reflecting on some areas where you have been playing smaller, you've been playing it safe, and you've been really cozy and comfy under the blanket for a few too many extra minutes, whatever it may be. I hope that it's challenging you to think of your own life and thinking, what season are you in? Are you in this season where you just need to feel and to be and to rest? Or have you felt the shift of this equinox? There's no right or wrong answer to this. Have you felt a big shift of the equinox? And are you ready to really support yourself in creating that next version of yourself? And how are you going to do that? In what ways? What are the first changes that need to happen? And then how can you shift from there? So always be gentle with yourself, always move intuitively, but there has to be that comfortable tension. When I went to school for administration, building level and school district level administration, I took an amazing class, and I've used this before in previous podcasts. I don't know if you've heard it, but thinking about a rubber band and just holding the rubber band between two fingers and seeing it really loose and zero tension. And then taking the rubber band and stretching it to the point that it's about to snap and someone's going to get hurt. And then taking the rubber band and just creating enough tension, stretching it just enough where it's not loose, where it's not about to snap. That's where we need to find, I believe, that level of intuitive discipline. Being able to honor ourselves when we need a break, when we need to just go within, when we need those moments of darkness and just rest. And when we're able to push ourselves and call ourselves out and hold ourselves accountable. So I always think of that. So I hope that in this chapter, this new spring chapter, you are aligning to whatever it is you need. And like I said, there's no right or wrong. And I hope that evolve if you're a community member of Evolve, I hope that it can help you stay accountable on your journey in whatever way that looks for you. I am actually looking into a lot more ways to help each other stay consistent and support one another and come together as a community. So hopefully that will be birthing very soon. But I'm sending you so much love. I'm here to encourage you to just be the version of yourself that you are worthy of. You're absolutely worthy of. It's not about changing ourselves. It's not about disliking past versions of ourselves. It's really about honoring where we have been, where we are right now, and choosing the habits, the routines, the rituals, the thoughts, the words that embody that next level of ourselves. So I hope that this encourages you and inspires you for earlier morning wake ups if you feel guided to staying consistent with your practice and just allowing in everything to just flow and move through you from there. Thank you so much for being here. I'm so grateful for this community, and I'm so grateful to have this outlet as the podcast to chat with you. If you ever have any follow-ups or any reflections from anything I'm sharing, I welcome you to email me, to DM me. This is a one-way conversation. It's just me talking to you, but I love hearing your thoughts and I welcome any opportunity to chat, to hear any reflections you may have from any podcast. So you can always reach out to me through DM or email. And I hope to see you next time. May the longtime sun shine upon you. Sat Nam.